That old world charm, doo-doo-doo-doo. That old world charm, reviews say it's alright.
G'day everyone and welcome to episode 63 of That Old World Charm. The full force triumvirate of the charmed one, I being Phoebe, is in tow today for a very fun episode that was suggested by one of our patrons. And so we're joined by the absolute dynamic duo. First and foremost, Danny. How you doing, mate? The sweetest of meats.
Adam, I'm feeling pretty sweet today, to be honest with you.
It's going to be a sweet episode. Yeah. And Peter the Falcon is also here, brother.
This is me. I am him. You have named me.
We are doing a pretty fun episode. Of course, we're going to have a two-part to this podcast. Part two, come and join us over That Old World Charm over on Patreon. But part one, we're going to rank every special character in the game. And I'm going to do a little bit of explaining here of how we're going to do this. We could just do this off like hot takes and opinions, but I'm trying to make this a little more professional. And we have some criteria that I have pulled out of my butthole in the 10 minutes before the podcast. So definitely very much leveled up to professionalism. But we're going to be going through every single special character in the game, and we're going to be rating them on 4 dot points, and then they'll be put into a tier based on how well they score those dot points. The first one is points versus similarly equipped generic character. So as in, we're going to look at the points of the special character, then points like, if we have an Empire captain equivalent, we're going to look at how much this guy gets more or less, or how much points they're paying for their spice and their special rules versus a generic character. Their uniqueness within the faction, as in like their X factor, like this character does something that nothing else in the army does and therefore holds intrinsic value. The overall durability, damage, and stat line of that character, like is it just a character worth taking because it's a beater or a fridge or a brick or does something like that. And then the coolness. Just like how cool that character is, because it's special characters. That's some of the reasons to take them is because they're just cool as hell. And then they're going to be put into 5 tiers. S tier, starting at the top, which is bordering on auto take, which means this character is good in pretty much every army, Grand Army, AJ, everything. They're kind of just good all the time or offer value no matter which form you decide to take them in. Pretty damn good all the time is our A tier, as in like it holds relatively good value regardless. And then B tier is a decent in a SKU list or in a specific arcane journal. Orion and the Wild Hunt is a good example. A narrative play only is our C tier, and then don't take this, you deserve better, for our F tier. And I think I can speak for myself and the other boys. We are pretty keen to do this one. Should be a fun show. Anything to generically say on special characters and their design space within the old world for this edition, if there's been any dramatic changes in the way they've done special characters this edition versus previously? Don't know if either of you guys want to speak to it.
I think that they're a little bit more limited than they've been, obviously. I think like 3 is most army books in 8th edition or 7th edition had a lot more. Usually around, I would say 6. So they're limited right now until more rules come out. And like I would say generically, like of course with any special character, you're buying them for the rules that make them unique. Almost always a standard like generic character is gonna be more useful overall to your army than any of these special characters, probably, with like a few exceptions to that rule.
I think that's generally correct. Peter, what are your thoughts?
I fully agree with Danny. I have nothing to add. I feel like he nailed it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of we're very much. Did people take special characters in 6th edition? Any?
In 6th?
Yeah. I know in 7th we had a smattering, and then 8th, I can't even talk about 8th because the back year of 8th was the dumbest crap I've ever heard of. And a lot of that was fueled by special characters because they just decided to rip off all the checks and balances and just...
Yeah, end times, a lot of special characters got used. Previous to end times... There were
a lot of tournaments didn't allow special characters, so my experience with them is pretty limited, except for like fun games, because mostly people just didn't use them because they weren't tournament legal generally.
Yeah, exactly.
In addition to that, my pre-end time special characters for 8th edition were like almost uniquely gutter trash.
There were a couple, like Manfred got used a lot.
Correct.
You mean like between Scrag and Grecius and the hook guy?
Or ogres, yeah. I won an event with Scrag, so I'll take that.
But outside of that, beginning of 8th edition, it was like Manfred saw play if you were allowed characters, and so did Techless, because Techless was like
because Techless was busted.
Stupid.
Techless Ilario saw a lot of play because she had life as a
she had Lord Life.
Lord Master Life, so she got all those spells, and that was really good in the White Lions block. And then Orc Phoenix Guard or whatever. I'm trying to think what else. That's about it, though. Really, honestly.
Yeah. And none of them were like you built your army around this character. They were like, especially for Alariel, I found if people wanted to try and build a Death Star into their Wood Elves, they reach for Alariel to try and make Eternal Guard brick that would hold up. Versus
Kalita for Tomb Kings, because that was like the only way to play.
Sorry. Kalita was auto take. Kalita was goddamn auto take for Tomb Kings, giving poison
I used
to like
Helebron with Dark Elves a lot.
She was I did see a decent amount of Helebron.
Yeah, good shot.
Grimgor Ironhide you'd sometimes see with orcs because he was fun.
Yep.
But I have good
mortals, right? Like, and they were like stubborn.
Yeah, he made you stubborn, and he just also had like a billion attacks with a 1+ armor save.
With always strike first. He was good.
Yeah, with always strike first.
I always found it was weird. You could make a Black Orc character that was as good as Grimgor, but was like 40 points cheaper. But Grimgor was just had sheer cool as factor, and people just respected it. He was also a little better in challenges, I believe. Like he had
his armor save was amazing. That was like the big thing. You really couldn't make a character with an armor save like his for orcs. So
he was a 2+ or a 1+ with a 5+ ward, right?
Yeah, I think he was a 1+. It might have been 2. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to be jumping in. Sorry, we got lost in the nostalgia berries. We were tickling those nostalgia berries a little bit too hard. But anyway, suffice to say that special characters in the old world right now are a very varied bunch. We do have a couple that are going to be, we're going to just tell you right now, are like on the cusp of auto include. You would never kind of plan to leave home without them without a very good reason. And then we have some that are the most forgettable nonsense trash. We don't know why they bothered doing it. And I think we're going to be starting off with one such example. We're starting off with Plutonians here and Sir Cecil Gaston, the Wormslayer. He comes at 165 points on a 25 by 25 mil base. He's a regular ass infantry. And here we come with the downsides. Moves 4, weapon skill 7, weapon skill 3, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 9. He has a couple of special rulesies. The Wormslayer is the first one. And should Cecile kill an enemy model whose troop type is monstrous infantry, monstrous cavalry, monstrous creature, or behemoth during any combat phase, he gains terror for the remainder of the game. And then his Dragonhide Cloak is giving the AP characteristic of a non-magical weapon used to attack. Sir Gaston is reduced by 2. In addition, Sir Cecile is immune to killing blow and multiple wounds X. If he suffers an unsaved wound from an attack with either of these special rules, loses a single wound. And he has a 3+ ward save against any wounds that were caused by a flaming attack. In combat, he will be strength +1, AP 1, magic attack, monster slayer, and multiple wounds 2. We're going to be ticking it over first to Danny to see how he ranks up against a generic, such kitted character.
So he has relatively the same stat line as a normal Baron here, which costs 100 points, but he does have +1 weapon skill, and weapon skill 7 is a decent breaking point, so that he should cost a little bit more than 100 points just for that.
Yep, that's fair. It comes with a unimpressive heavy armor shield in combat.
Yeah,
and no ward save.
Keep in mind, he is infantry, suppressive battle, so he technically has like a 3+ armor in close combat.
Yep.
He ignores multiple wounds. He ignores monster slayer, or he basically ignores killing blow. There's a lot of good things about Cecil. Basically, if you compare him to like a Baron that had the immune to killing blow item, which is like 40 points, I think.
Yep. And then the Monster Slayer sword.
And like a Monster Slayer sword is 50, and it's not as good as his sword. He's like that character's already 190 points. So he's definitely for what you're getting, he's a bargain. But
yeah, so he's cheaper than a similarly equipped generic character, which is good. That's like a point in his favor. Uniqueness within the faction. Is he doing anything or bringing anything to the faction they can't get elsewhere? Full stop. What do we think?
Just super cool.
No,
dude.
No. He's not doing anything unique.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
So one more thing that he has is he is naturally Exile's Vow too, which is nice.
Yep.
So it means he doesn't get a ward save to start with because he has because he doesn't get blessings, right? That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair.
And he gets veteran, which is great. On a character, I find generally, especially leadership 9, but any lord could have that, I guess, if they're joining that, if they're in the Exiles army. But you could take him outside of Exiles and have Exiles.
Yep, you can. He can be taken in any army that can take a Baron.
Fair. Where do we think he comes in?
He doesn't have a horse. That's why he's bad, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why
it's bad because he doesn't have a horse. Like, if you're running a big block of Knights of the Realm on foot, which nobody does, you're seeing people running like small units of them, but not the big ones. That would be it.
Yeah, my issue is you can take a sure. We've come to it is more expensive to take a generically equipped character, but that generically equipped character has a freaking delivery system. He comes on a horse or a peg, and he can just go find the monsters to go and slay. This guy has like you just gotta walk, beckoning them forward, praying that they will charge him on their dragon, and that he will get to swing, which he probably won't. He'll just die before he swings a lot of the time. I have him firmly in C tier.
Yeah.
What do you
I
reckon?
agree with
Any
that.
arguments?
I don't have any argument. I think he's thematically fun.
Yeah,
If I was
it's
making like a
C tier is
janky
narrative.
fun army, that's what I would do. Yeah. So I think he's C tier.
All right. I was a little remiss and scooped over one of the others. I did want to get one. I did this by design. I did want to get one under our belt before we do the Green Knight. Yeah. And I kind of don't need to unpack the Green Knight as much. I'm just going to literally tell you what he does and not read it out. He's 275 points, expensive as hell, but my God, he does so much you cannot get anywhere else and still cannot get in any other book. He's good in combat. He's ethereal. He pops up out of a bullshit terrain feature in some tournament formats on turn 1 and declares a charge. In some other tournaments, sure. He's unbreakable, unstable, causes terror, rallying cry, loader, move through cover, just wild. And he comes back up on death. He essentially has like a pseudo second life to him, and has decent armor, a ward save, and is absolutely bonkers. I think this is the first argument we have for an S tier model. What do we think, boys?
Yeah, I think he may be the only S tier model in that you'll run him in literally every Bretonnia army you can, unless you have. Yeah, like if you're trying to be competitive, unless like you're doing like some kind of unless he's been nerfed in some way by like whatever comp you're using, I guess.
Yeah.
That would be it.
So just going through our dot points for criteria. Points for a similarly equipped generic character. There is none. There is literally nothing else you can compare him to because he is innately ridiculously and unique, which goes into, I think, him getting double points out of the uniqueness within the faction criteria, as in does something nothing else does and offers X factor. I don't think any other character in the game, possibly other than Meow, offers anywhere near as much uniqueness within the internal balance of the faction. And even then, I don't think Meow is as much. I think he is at another level. And then overall durability, damage, and stat line, it's pretty bonkers. He won't go toe-to-toe with a dragon with a magic weapon. Like he just won't. But outside that, he's like half the points of them, and he's bonkers. And do you guys think he's cool?
I mean, he is cool. Yeah.
It's one of the most classic models for that faction. Like it's beautiful. It's honestly still a cool model, and it's like almost 30 years old. I think. All
right. I think we're sorted. He's an S tier. Next up, we have Lady Elise Ducard, who is a prophetess of the lady. Comes with movement 10, being on the the unicorn. Movement 4, weapon skill, bliss skill 3+, strength 3, T4, 5 wounds, initiative 3, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 225 points. How does that rack up versus a level 3?
So a level 3 prophetess on a unicorn is 170 points. So you're paying 55 more points for her?
Yep. So what do you get for that 55 points? You get Arcane Backlash, so you may apply +1 modifier to any of her Dispel rolls. In addition, should a roll of any natural double when making Dispel roll, not including double ones, the spell is unbound and the casting wizard immediately loses a wound, so a little bit of a rebound jutsu there. We've got Chalice of Brion. Whilst within this model's command range, enemy characters that attempt to use a special rule or magic item that requires them to make a leadership test, Rallying Cry, for example, suffer a -2 modifier to that to a minimum of 2. And then Staff of the Elements. If you wish, Lady Elise may discard 2 of her randomly generated spells rather than the usual 1, and instead select 2 signature spells from Law of Elementalism and or Law of the Lady. How do we put that value up there? Of course, she has, like I said, she has Armor Bane 2 on the mount. She has Armored Hide 1, Beguiling Aura, Blessing of the Lady, Countercharge, Law of the Lady, Magical Attacks, Magic Res 2 as well, which is very important to give that to the unit. And then Shield of the Lady and Stomp Attacks 1 with Swift Stride. That is a lot of rule.
She also has 1 more wound than a standard Prophetess on a Unicorn.
Yeah, 5 at T4 is not bad, right? With the invuln.
Yeah, and she's a lot of value.
She also, did we talk about the Beguiling Aura too?
Yeah, that comes with the Unicorn. We didn't quite talk about it, but yeah.
Okay. That's just part of the Unicorn's rules.
Yeah.
So like she's like 60 more points than or 65 more points than a Prophetess on a Unicorn, but she has 1 more wound. She basically has a slightly different version of the prayer icon of Jonathan Quinnell, and that's a 25-point magic item. She's got all these extra other little things. She gives an additional magic resist over a standard Prophetess, because I believe they only get 1, right? So
you could bake that cost in as a Obsidian Lodestone, like
so that's usually like another 20 points or 10 points, because some magic items are cheaper, whatever. So like she's pointed out very well. She's not an auto take, but like I have definitely seen her played in competitive lists, and it didn't shock me in any way.
All right. So she gets a tick for the points versus similarly equipped generic character, I think, because once you price up that Prophetess with the special items, I think that's crossing the 200 points barrier. So you're probably paying maybe only within 20 to 30 points difference, which I think's a tick. Uniqueness within the faction. Does she offer something really special you can't get with a Prophetess? I'm not sure she does, actually.
Not really.
Yeah. What's interesting now is I think her value did go up with the change to the Royal Pegasus, because people would take a Prophetess on a Royal Peg since they can't take a standard Peg. And now that the Royal Peg is a monster, they can't join a Pegasus unit. So now you're looking at putting your Prophetess on either a Unicorn or a horse. And that does up her value, right? To not because you're no longer looking to have something to join your Peg units. So.
All right, so overall durability, damage, and stat line, which is above the going rate. As we identified, we get +1 wound here, which is probably the most important thing you could have on a caster, is to just have more wounds, take more instances of damage to kill. So I think it gets a tick there. Is she cool?
The model is incredible.
Model is beautiful.
I think she's cool. All right, what do we think, boys? She's not S tier. Is she A, B, or C? I don't think she's C. She's B or A for me.
And for me, I guess I would say, I think she's probably a B tier model for me.
Yeah, I think she's close to A tier, but B tier is probably where
I think she's close to A as well. All right, that is it for the Bretts, I believe, unless there's another one I've missed, boys.
Nope, that's it.
Brett's done. On to Tomb Kings, and we're starting off with the big lad himself, Cetra the Imperishable. 445 points. Oh my lord. For movement 8. Weapon skill 7, ballistic skill 3, strength 6, toughness 5, 8 wounds, initiative 3, 5 attacks, leadership 10. With, of course, comes with the steeds as well. Equipment is all good stuff. We'll get to it in a minute. Is a level 1, so you can knock off 35 points for the level 1-ness. Commander of the Legions, Curse of the Necropolis, Dry as Dust, Flammable, Impact hits 2d3, Indomitable 3, Law of Nekahara will be done, Nekahara Undead, 5+ regen, Cetra does not kneel, and Cetra the Great. Cetra gains the Arise special rule. Unlike other models with a special rule, may use it even when engaged in combat, so it's doing something you can't get anywhere else, which is nice. Cetra must always accept a challenge, unless Cetra's Emissary is here, which we'll be discussing up next. And then Cetra the Great. If your army includes Cetra, it must be the General. and must be chosen to be the army's Hierophant as well, which can be seen as a nerf. Even if he does not have the highest level of wizardry in your army, in addition, has a command range of 18, which is a buff. Chariot of the Gods, impact hits caused by the Chariots of the Gods have flaming and magical attacks. In addition, when fielded with Nekahara and Royal Host, it may join Tomb Guard Chariots as if it were light chariots. Crown of Nekahara, such as my will be done rule, affects all units within 6 rather than just 1. And Scarab Brooch gives him a 5+ award save in addition to the regen, in addition to a mediocre armor save, but it's there. Then in combat is Strength User, which is 6, which is good, at AP 3 with Flaming Attacks, Magical Attacks requiring 2 hands, and any enemy models that suffer 1 or more unsaved wounds from the Blessed Blade suffer a -1 to modify to its hits rolls, both when shooting and in combat for the remainder of the game. How do we feel about the Imperishable Lad?
He's so sick, but you don't play him.
10 out of 10, cool as fuck.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Points for a similarly equipped character. My God, you could take 2 similarly equipped characters on chariots and have points, I believe. Or if you wanted to. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, he's got 8 wounds. And what's a Tomb King on a chariot got?
6.
6. So he's got 2 more wounds. To get the same kind of abilities, you're probably spending like 150 points, right?
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like
Tomb King on a chariot.
Okay. So but to come close, you're spending a bunch of points to get like similar abilities, right? Because I think a lot of the abilities that he has you can kind of get, but like it racks up quick, right? Like there's the crown that lets you do his shenanigans. There's no way to make him a level 1 wizard unless you're doing
Wizarding Hat?
No, if you're in the Royal Host, you can do it. A Royal Cohort, right? You can make a king a level 1.
You can.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So, but still, like, he's kind of unique, except for, like, you can also just take a Tomb King on a dragon.
Yeah.
And that's just better most of the time.
And I've found Tomb Kings on dragons like relatively cheap because you're just taking a great weapon a lot of the time. And so you're just getting it 3 saves and putting it on a dragon with a great weapon. And you are good, especially now that Armor of Ages, the -1 hit isn't a thing anymore. So points for a similarly equipped generic character doesn't hold up. Uniqueness within the faction does do some unique stuff, but as Peter pointed out, not as many as you would think. Overall durability, damage, and stat line, like damage is fine. Durability is mid, probably weak for the points because it doesn't have a good armor save. But my God, 10 out of 10 cool.
Yeah. And just like one of the best characters lore-wise in the entirety of the old world history, in my opinion.
The entire mythos, one of the best.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's C tier.
Yeah,
best reserved for narrative play.
No, you're right. I was thinking that he might be B, but no, you're right. He's C tier for sure. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's stupid.
Make the arguments, please. Like I
was gonna say, like, in his list, if you're gonna play that chariot list, but that chariot list sucks and it's a narrative list. So like my argument is bad there.
All right.
Anyway,
Prince Aprophis, the Cursed Scarab Lord, one of the coolest models GW ever made. Movement 4, Weapon Skill 4, Bliss Skill 3, Strength 4, T3, 4 wounds, Initiative 1, 5 attacks, Leadership 8, 130 points. Comes in, so it's a 1 less toughness Prince stat line, I believe.
Well,
Prince is T5.
Princes are toughness 5. Yeah, and he has 1 more wound over a Prince. So
comes with Ambush, Fly 9, which is quite unique within Tomb Kings for a non-monster. Indomitable 2, Kopesh, Loner, Nekahara Undead, Regen 5+, Scarab Prince, and Usurian's Reaper and Terror. Should Prince Aprophis lose his last wound before removing the model from play, all enemy units within 2d6 suffer 2d6 strength 2 hits with AP 1. That's a Scarab Prince. And then the Reaper. After deployment, nominate a single character in your opponent's army list. This guy may reroll any failed to hit or wound rolls made against that character. In addition, any hits afflicted by him against the nominated character gain magical attacks. Swarming Mass is... This is just flavor text. It's a breath weapon. It's strength 2. Oh, boy. And a 4+ is always successful to wound regardless of the toughness. And as much as I love this model, this guy sucks in all sorts of ways, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's not good.
I wouldn't even take him. Like you could take him in narrative, but I would suggest maybe taking someone a little bit better.
Take literally anything else. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
cool
don't
that he
think-
flies. That's really like the
Yeah, that's it. Like if he could like score you points, like if he could hold an objective or like kill a supply train or yeah. All right. So points for a similarly equipped generic character. He actually loses that. He's more expensive than a prince. A prince can join units and is way more, has just, I believe, a much better stat line. Toughness 5 versus toughness 3. Like, my God, that's such a downgrade. Uniqueness within the faction. Sure. He's a fly 9 small base character. Sure.
I mean, technically, you can make a prince that's fly 9, right? Like, isn't there like the flying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
yeah,
can like magic carpet or something and basically just accomplish the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
you totally can, and you'll do pocket sand, like you'll do flyover damage, which is probably better damage than the freaking breath weapons are going to do. Overall durability damage and stat line, bad. Cool as hell. He's F tier.
Yeah, I think he's probably F tier. He has 5 attacks.
At no stat line. At no
minus 1 AP.
At AP1, that's wild.
Yeah.
You could kill one. You could kill 1 to 2 standard infantry, 1 to 2 night goblins in close combat.
He's got it. He's got it on lock. All right. Nikaf is up next. Emissary, etc. Weapon skill. So move forward. Weapon skill 5. Bliss skill 3. Strength and toughness 4. 2 wounds. Initiative 4. 3 attacks. Leadership 8. 120 points. Comes in. Well, is the Necrotect stat line, I believe. Or
It's
it's the Royal Herald. Yeah.
And there's
Royal
60
Herald.
points. He's got +1 weapon skill over a standard Royal Herald.
Mm-hmm.
For double the points, is what you're saying?
But he does
There's
way
exactly-
more than a normal Royal Herald.
He also has an Indomitable 2 over them as well.
Yeah. Regen 5+, killing blow built in, dry as dust, flammable. Herald of Despair, Cetra's Champion, Swarm Protector. Herald of Despair is any enemy unit that is in base contact with Nikaf or a unit he has joined must roll an extra d6 for fearing terror tests and discard the lowest. Cetra's Champion must always issue and accept challenges if possible. However, challenges issued by him cannot be refused, which is cool and unique. In addition, while engaged in a challenge, killing blows on a 5 or a 6 rather than a 6. And then his combat is strength +2 AP2, magical attacks, multiple wounds, 2 requires 2 hands, and you get the strength bonus only in the first round of combat. He's genuinely not bad. Issue being his regular ass infantry is my issue. If he had the option to be mounted up and sit on a chariot next to Cetra, like he would just kind of make Cetra a little bit better. But then you are 600-ish points in the hole for the package.
Yeah, like he's really neat. And when you yes, he is double like a base Royal Herald, but his Flail of the Conquered Kings, that's a really good weapon.
Legit.
Like you're probably paying 50 points for that.
Yeah.
A lot of the time for strength +2 AP2, multiple wounds, 2 weapon. Even if it is only the 1 turn, like that's quite good for a guy that if he gets the charge off is initiative 7. Killing blow on a 5 or 6 in a challenge. There's like lots of really good stuff here. It's just it's only in a thematic game where you're going to take him with Cetra, and I think you're just going to take a herald on a chariot or something if you're going to run a herald otherwise. So
yeah, I chuck in with Cetra in the narrative play only. Danny, tell us otherwise.
Hear me out. I think that this guy could be like, it's probably C, but I think he could be B tier in that you can use him to build a kind of cool like Fearbrom or Terror Brick.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest part about him, right? So I mean that's not like a great thing right now. But like just making people run away from you, or like just being easily able to break people in combat when they fail their fear test against like, a big fat unit of like Tomb Guard or something like that. That already does terror. I think that there's like, because you can take the Golden Mask or whatever and like give any unit terror in Tomb Kings for like 20 points.
Yeah, and then like you could like take Rick halves or something so that you're getting all your movement shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
So like getting a charge off isn't like way out of the ordinary, and like there's definitely I think a jank build for him that would be kind of cool.
All right, CLB boys.
I think B is fine. He's not A tier for sure. He'd be like low.
No, not like I would say it's if he is B tier, it is on the cusp between like just one toe over from C.
C plus.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, let's make more tiers than the tiers we made up 5 minutes for the show. I love it.
Shush! Don't tell him how the sausage is made. Jeez.
You did it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but I'm allowed to. I made the sausage.
I see how it is.
It's my sausage. All right, we are into Orcs and Goblins. This is Kicknick.
Yes.
He comes with movement 4, but actually movement 9, weapon skill 5, blitz skill 3, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 105 points on a light cav, 25 by 50. He comes with special rules of all sneaky like, ambushes, armor bane, armored hide 1, chariot runners, fast cav, fear of elves, impetuous, it and run, rallying cry, swift stride, and warband. There's quite a few good ones there. All sneaky like is 0 to 1 units of wolf rider mobs in the same muster list as Kicknick may have ambush, a special rule for free. That's like a 1 to 2 points per model of value. In addition, you may apply a plus or minus 1 to the results of determining if a wolf rider mob with the ambush special rule that is currently held in reserve comes on as reinforcements or is delayed. It and run is should they win a round of combat, Kicknick and any wolf rider mob he has joined may choose to fall back in good order rather than making a follow-up or pursuit move, which is very unique for them. I don't think there's anything else in Orcs and Goblins that can do this. And then the trophy rack, in a turn in which Kicknick charged, any Goblin Wolf Rider mob he has joined causes fear and get +1 combat res. In combat, he has his hammer, so he can choose which of these profiles he wishes to use. The hammer is strength +2, AP 1, armor bane 2, magical attacks, or the pick is strength user, AP 2, armor bane, magical attacks, multiple wounds 2. And you choose which profile you would please at the time. How does he, points-wise come up versus a goblin? A goblin on a wolf.
War boss just naked is 60 points. I'm pretty sure a wolf is what, like 10? Yeah, it's 10 points. So 70 points. So for 35 points, that's a lot of rules.
You got
it is a lot.
He is very cheap for what he does. It's just what he does isn't something you really ever want. It's competitively at least.
One of his stats is he's got leadership 8, which is one better than a goblin war boss.
Yeah.
And it comes with warband as well, which I quite like.
Yeah. So he's like, he could technically, if you run a billion, no, he can only be a leadership 10 because they can only get up to 2 extra ranks with Horde, which I don't even think they have. Anyway, he's cool. The ambushers thing is really cool. He does a lot of awesome stuff. Unfortunately, combat Goblin Wolf Riders are like really bad.
Not there at all. And he does it
weapon skill too. So like you like if you want to build around him, you're also having to take a bunch of probably Goblin characters also on wolves to join the unit that you're going to ambush, and then you're paying to make them ambush. And it just gets to be like a really unwieldy unit that's super fun, but like not competitive.
Yeah, you could take all those points you did trying to make a goblin wolf unit good, and just take like 4 more boar boys in your boar boy unit, and you're like better. Yeah. You just go wider. Like you just go wider and take more MSU. So I think he's actually good. Like when you just look at him on face value in a vacuum, he is good. He just doesn't fit into the internal balance that well of the faction. So I'm hesitant on whether you could make a case. So going down our criteria, points versus similarly equipped character, he gets a tick for that. He does so much more than a similarly equipped character for like 30, 25, 20 more points. He does a bunch of uniqueness within the faction, an X factor, tick. Overall durability, damage, and stat line, not great. It's a goblin character with
he's got a 4-up armor save.
Yeah, 4-up armor save and 3 wounds. He's just gonna die. But he's really cool. He's not auto take. He's not damn good all the time. I think he's decent in the skew, but actually he's not. He's not even that good in the skew list. Like in the nomadic war, I don't think he finds a place. You just
I've tried. Like I've run him because he is fun. He's just like
he's in C tier, boys.
I mean, he doesn't do anything. Like, I mean, he does stuff for your army. And so if you were going to build some kind of an ambush list, which is bad, or not bad, but like it's narrative, guys, like you would take him. I think he's definitely a C tier character.
Yeah. All right. Oddgrids, whatever.
Oddgrids, Swamp Digger.
Swamp Digger. Movement 4, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attack, leadership 8, 195 points for a regular infantry named character on a 30x30.
So
comes with
55 more points than a standard level 3 orc shaman.
Yep. It's a level 3 with elementalism and troll magic. Comes with choppers, the troll caller, ignore goblin panic, protect the boss, siphon strength, and warband. The troll caller is unless fleeing friendly troll mobs within command range, made use the leadership of 8 provided. Protect the boss is this model cannot be targeted by enemy shooting or by enemy spells while it's within 3 of any friendly troll mobs, unless it is the closest target. Siphon strength is while this dude is within 3 of a friendly troll mob with a unit strength of 6 or more and is not fleeing, gets +1 to cast, so cast is a level 4. And Trollhide Joll is improve armor save value by 1, which is from 0 to 1, I believe, so 6 up.
6 points, yep.
In addition, has a regen 5+ inflammable. In combat is at strength +2. AP 1, magic attacks requires 2 hands, and for each unsaved wound inflicted with this weapon, you recover a wound.
And he also has a lore familiar.
Oh, of course, has a lore familiar. Sick.
And per the fact, he's the only model that can use spells from his lore familiar from 2 disciplines instead of just 1.
That's right, as per the recent FAQ. How many points was he more than a generic level 3?
55.
Okay, so take the lore familiar points out of that.
Yeah, and then also consider like his shawl is basically the same as Trollhide trousers, which are 40.
Trousers. Yeah. So getting a tick there for points versus generic, for sure. How do we feel about the other bits and pieces, the actual things we're taking them for, like giving leadership 8 to the trolls, getting being untargetable within 3, which is sure, and then +1 to cast within 3. I actually think it's not a bad package.
So he's not. By any means. He's the thing is, like in Troll Horde, all weird knobs give their leadership to trolls, so like that's kind of a math thing. Like he's just in, if you were to run him in Grand Army, that's the only place where that comes up.
And you're not bringing trolls in Grand Army.
You're generally not going to bring trolls in Grand Army. Yeah, correct. His Bogwood staff's cool because it's basically like an almost great weapon that he gets for free. So that's neat. I'm
gonna put so is he good enough to be worth taking in the troll horde?
No, I would just run a regular guy. I think where he might be good enough, if he had so here's the thing, if he had mob rule, I would say he would be like an auto take in Grand Army right now, but he doesn't. That's the problem. I shouldn't say auto take because you almost want a level 4 elementalism versus a level 3, but there's something cool about getting a lore familiar of both elementalism and troll magic if you're going for like a pure defensive combo, because you can get earthen ramparts and rapid regeneration.
Yeah.
So you're giving your unit regen and 5-up board save and defending an LLO. And that's like a pretty sweet little combo. It's just too bad because there's like so many other good spells in elementalism you want to drop for that regen, but not having mob rule sucks. So you kind of need to take like 3 trolls to make Swamp Digger just as good as a level 3 weird knob, and that makes me sad.
Fair. That is the end of the.
Sorry, counterpoint. I played trolls a lot, and I don't take him. To be fair, I'd rather have the level 4, but he's like fun, he's like good in specifically just in that list. If I were gonna take a second, like a second weird knob, I would take him. Then I probably wouldn't take a second generic one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, fair. I've chucked him in C.
Yeah, I think C's fine. Like he is one special rule away from being, in my mind, like an A tier character. Just from having played that the army with like a standard weird knob, with elementalism. He's so close. If I didn't have to take some trolls to get the +1 to cast on him, I'd run him anyway.
All right, Harold. We're on to the Empire. Harold Gemmenson, Grandmaster of the Order of Knights Panther.
Empire.
Yes, yeah, I slotted it in here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes with movement 7 for the Warhorse, weapon skill 7, which, as we already identified, is a good breakpoint. Blitz skill 3, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 185 points. How does that rack up?
Hey, hold on just a second. As far as the normal general of the Empire is...
he's a Grandmaster.
He's a Grandmaster.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The Grandmasters are a little more expensive. He starts at 145.
So we're paying 45 extra points for the package that he gives, which is countercharge, first charge, the Grandmaster rule, hatred, Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen, and demonic models. So like 3 legitimate factions. Immune to psychology, magic res 1, Master of Battle, Rallying Cry, Skilled Duelist, Stubborn, Swift Stride, and Veteran. There's a lot. That's a brick of rules. Grandmaster of the Knights Panther, belongs to the Order of Knights Panther, and therefore may re-roll a single dice roll of a natural 1 when making a charge roll before discarding any dice that are required to be discarded. In addition, may only join units that belong to the Order of Knights Panther. Skilled Duelist. Should this guy slay an enemy in a challenge in a turn in which he charged, he may immediately issue a second challenge. If the challenge is accepted, it is fought immediately, meaning Harold, but not his mount, may fight 2 challenges in a single round of combat. In combat, he will be strength +1, AP 1, Armor Bane 1, Killing Blow, magical attacks. And when making attacks against Beastmans, he may re-roll any fail to wound roll. I like so much about this guy until I get to his combat, which is strength 5, AP 1 with 4 attacks. It's just not that consistent to get consistent mileage out of the best part of him, which is the double duel. Like, he might not go through a 2-wound champion is my issue. Outside that, I actually love a lot of his rules, and he brings a good package, and the points are probably correct.
Yeah, well, think this, like the Grandmaster 145, that's not including the Grandmaster's mount. So there's 16 more points right there. So you're already at 161. So he's only 24 more points. You get Beast Reaver, which is slightly better than the 45-point killing blow weapon that everybody else can take, because it gives you rerolls against Beastmen. But otherwise, it's a killing blow, strength +1, AP 1 weapon.
Yeah.
And the fact that
it save
doesn't matter here because he doesn't have a shield.
Yeah, it sucks that they didn't give him a shield. If they'd given him a shield, I'd consider him a little bit more. Knights Panther is also not a great knighthood. None of them are. Like, you take White Wolf for basically nothing at this point. He's really good if you know you're going to have a narrative game against a Beastman player. That's that is
a bit of yeah. You should also clear that with your opponent. Because he has 4 rolls to hit on the first round of combat versus Beastman. You get him into the Beastman brick
and 4 rerolls to wound, right?
And 4 rolls to wound. He actually is a problem in that matchup. Everywhere else, I think he's pretty mid. And a regular Grandmaster is much better. What do we think, boys? Another C tier?
He's almost an F tier for me, but yeah, sure.
He's almost an F tier for me. Yeah, let's do it. Let's fill up that F tier. Harold, there you go. Next up, we have the low hackles of General Hans von Lone Hackle. He is moving forward, weapon skill 6, split skill 5, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 1 9 now. Oh, he's leadership 10 now?
To be 10, yes.
Well, good, because he's 190 points for a general stat line.
Yep, but his special rules are insane.
He is. But I was just on that stat line, how does he line up versus a general of the Empire?
It's this. He's got +1 weapon skill over the general of the Empire, and otherwise -1 initiative, for 100 more points.
Being old for 100
and
more
he's
points.
1 more attack.
Yes, he is.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Yes, you're right.
But just to be clear, you said 100 more points.
He's 100 more points. Yes.
I'm going to say that again. 100 more points. And he's got Mercenary Commander. If he's the army's general, friendly units with the Mercenary Special Rule may benefit from his inspiring presence and he may be joined to them. In addition, friendly mercenary units are not subject to the Misbehaving Mercenaries rule. He also has strategic mastery. In a scenario when players roll off to determine who takes the first turn, you might apply a +1 or -1 modifier to your result. Very unique. And then the Griffin Helm, he gets a 5+ ward save against any wounds suffered and makes him immune to killing blow special rule. He takes 1 wound instead of being deaded. In combat, he is strength +2, AP 2, magical attacks, multiple wounds 2, requires 2 hands. That's a good freaking weapon. And comes with full plate. And his ward save and is not mounted. How do we feel about him?
I love him. He's in City State of Nuln lists in particular. He's almost S tier. People flip flop between using him or not because of the +1 to go first. It's so valuable, especially in Old World where like the go first roll, it's like a 60-40 or 65-35 on person that goes first wins the game in like a standard matchup. And especially with Nuln where you want to have that like guarantee to like Vanguard up and blow somebody away.
Yeah.
It's just the problem with Nuln is he's a guy on foot and you don't want to invest a whole bunch of points into stuff to protect him. So that's the negative. And it's why he's not used in like literally every Nuln list, just many of them.
I think, so he's very good in one specific AJ SKU list, which I mean, it means he's already B at least, B tier.
I don't know. In my opinion, like it's the only list for Empire though, competitively. So from a competitive perspective, I think that almost bumps him up to an A tier.
That's what I mean. So he starts at a B tier and we can make arguments for higher. I think, how many points, Danny, would you pay on a magic item for +1 or -1 to go first? We need to define the value of this.
Probably 50 points.
I'd happily pay 50, I think.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I think 50 is almost like soft, but yeah, I think 50 is like the low.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think I would consider up to 75 in some lists. Yeah.
Sure.
I think 50
depends on the army, of course, like that I would want to take that in.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can knock half of the 100 points that he is more than a regular general at a minimum off that points cost because he's bringing something that's a minimum of 50 points worth of value. Do we think there's like, I mean, he's 5+ ward save, sure, you could buy a TOP, immune to killing blow. That's another like 15, 20 point magic item. And then in combat, he just has like a quite good add initiative great weapon. Multiple wins 2 great weapons at initiative. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm happy to put this guy in A tier, I think.
Yeah, I think he's an A tier for sure.
I don't disagree with any of that. I think he's really good.
Good. The low and hackles did in fact get low and hackle. Happy days. That is it for Empire. Moving on to next up, we have Warriors of Chaos. Starting off with Friedel, the Chainmaker. Movement 4, weapon skill 6, bliss skill 3, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks and leadership 9 for 235 points. Comes with hand weapon.
Champion is 125 points.
So she is
pretty close to the same. She's kind of in between a Chaos Lord and him, but it's basically an exalted champion with +1 weapon skills because she's weapon skill 7, but toughness 4.
She's 6 in this.
Yeah, she's weapon skill 6.
Oh, I thought she was 7. Okay, yeah. So just a standard exalted then is 6.
So how many points are they?
125.
So she's near double. She's 235. So yeah, close to double. Comes with full plate and shield with Storm's Wrath in combat, ambushes, Chainmaker, Chaos Armor 5+, Commander and Captain, and Sorcerer's Weapon, Gauge of the Gods, an impact hit, which is very cute. Marker Chaos Undivided, Peerless Raider, Rallying Cry. Any enemy standard captured by Friedel or any unit she has joined is worth 100 victory points. Capturing Commander is, unless she's fleeing, friendly units of Chaos Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, Marauder Tribe, Huskals, and Berserkers. All the Marauders get +1 leadership, whilst in a command range to a maximum of 10, and then Peerless Raider, 0 to 1 units of Chaos Marauders or Horsemen in the same list as Friedel may have ambushes for free. In addition, if she's your general, you may apply a +1 or -1 when rolling to determine if she of any unit of Chaos Marauders or any Marauders make their ambush check or fail it. And then in combat, Storm's Wrath is +2 strength, AP 1, D3 extra attacks, requires 2 hands. And the strength modifier is only in the first round of combat because it is, in fact, a flail. How does that all add up, boys?
I would just like to say one more thing, too, that I've missed. Her leadership is +1 as well over a standard exalted. So she's 9.
Nice. I genuinely like her, but she's once again, she is one that only exists in some SKU lists. She does have a lot of value to it, and I have played with her and without her in my SKU lists. What do you reckon, boys?
Yeah, like you don't play her competitively, but like if you're doing like a Warriors of Chaos, I don't know. If you're trying to do some kind of fun SKU, I think she's fine. Like 3+ armor save, 5+ ward is not bad. The impacted is cute. It's the ambush stuff that's kind of what makes you want to take her if you're going to take her. I don't know if it's worth it for that. So
I don't particularly think she's worth it for that. I think a regular Exalted can be ticked up to be better than her in combat, firstly, and secondly, be more durable. But yeah, you are taking her pretty much if you are playing a Wolves of the Sea SKU list and plan to put more than you would otherwise in ambush, which is what she lets you do. She lets you be like, cool, I have the ability to consistently put a little bit more off the table if I want to. That's literally all she does. I do think she's a B because I think she is takeable in exclusively one AJ, but I think there's an argument for a C tier also here.
Yeah, I think if she's B, she's barely, because I don't think Wolves. I think Wolves of the Sea has like so many better options.
Same.
True.
But,
all right, I'll go top of C.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Next up, we have Galrook, the Great Drake. Movement 6, but of course, fly 10. Weapon skill 6, list skill 3, strength and toughness 6, 6 wounds, initiative 4, 6 attacks, leadership 9, 465 points of behemoth. Comes with Draconic Scales, which counts as full plate, is a level freaking 4 wizard with Law of Dark Magic. Armored Hide 1, Breath of Change, so actually has a 3-up armor save. Breath of Change, Closed Order, Fly 10, like I said, large target, Mark of Zinch, 5-up regen, Spirit of Galrook, D6 Stomp, Swift Stride Terror, 2-headed dragon. Breath of Change is once per game, instead of using Dark Fire of Chaos or Fumes of Contagion, Galrook may instead use Breath of Change. Place the flame template with its broad end over the intended target, narrow yada yada. It must lie within field of vision. Any model baselines underneath template risk being hit. They immediately take a toughness test. If the test is failed, the model is overwhelmed and is immediately removed from play as a casualty. If it's passed, they are able to fend off the onslaught. The attack has no effect. In addition, Spirit of Galrook, during the start of turn subphase of each of your turns, make a leadership test for Galrook. If the test is passed, Galrook is controlled as normal. If the test is failed, they rebel. And while Galrook is rebelling, his level of wizardry is reduced to 1 and can only cast 1 spell per turn. Becomes subject to random move 2d6. If he is engaged in combat, it must direct a d3 of its attacks against itself. Lol. And any wounds that Galrook causes against himself are added to the combat res. Jesus. And then Twin-Headed Dragon has a bunch of mediocre breath weapons because all breath weapons are mediocre. Okay. A lot to take in there, boys.
He's just a dragon that's also a level 4 wizard and sometimes punches himself, but he's got regen on top of everything else.
Yeah.
On top of this,
Comes with a bunch
armor instead of 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with a bunch of unnecessary downsides. I don't see why there is any reason for the Spirit of Galrook rule to exist.
I mean, it's fluff. It's the whole idea,
fluff,
right?
But man, God, it downgrades this guy so significantly. Is there any way to compare his points to something else, like a level 4 on a mount?
Yeah.
Like,
so I was looking at that, Adam, and like it's 285 for the Chaos Dragon, and it's 225 for the level 4 Chaos Sorcerer. But the Chaos Sorcerer gets adds 3 more wounds to the Chaos Dragon profile, so it's like a 9 wound model instead of a 6. So I think you've got to kind of take off some points there, but like ultimately you're looking at another 35 plus, so it's 50 less points than a level 4 on a Chaos Dragon.
Yep. And then you got magic items. You're almost definitely going to be taking another level 4. That's going to blow it out even further. Peter, how does this guy rank up on our criteria, like overall durability, damage, and stat line, and uniqueness within the faction?
I mean, like dragons have always been a thing. He's a character dragon is cool. So there's a big uniqueness factor there. A character dragon that also can cast spells, also super cool. the big thing here, and the only reason why he was ever taken when he was taken was if you were trying to do like triple dragon. Before they gave exalted champs the option to take dragons, because you would take a warp fire, you would take your chaos lord on a dragon, you'd take Galrock, and that was like between Galrock and your chaos lord, that was like exactly 1,000 points almost most of the time. And then you had like 3 really beefy dragons to bully your opponent with. Now that you can take exalted champs on dragons, it's less of a thing, because you can just do that and it's safer than Galrock potentially doing his own shenanigans. So but he's still cool, and I have one shot things with his breath of change, and it's so much fun when it happens. So
it's pretty funny. Where do we think he ranks in our tier list?
C for me.
Yeah, he's probably C.
Like you could almost like, I don't know, like if you needed a level 4 to dispel stuff, I guess, but I don't think that's a problem anymore. So I think I'd rather have 2 exalteds on dragons than Galrock and an exalted.
Yeah, you can get so much magic resist in the Chaos Army. You almost don't need sorcerer. So,
yeah, I totally agree. All right, next up, we're on to the dwarfs. First up is Thorgrim, and he's move 3, weapon skill 6, bliss skill 4, strength 4, T5, 3 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 10 for 250 points. How does that rank up? Is he a Thane or King?
He's a Thane.
He's sort of in between, right?
Yeah, he is.
Like a Thane is 60 points, and has relatively the same stat line. I think he's like +1 weapon skill there, because he's weapon skill 7.
Nice.
+1 weapon skill and +1 leadership. He's leadership 10 as well.
Okay,
and he's got one more weapon, so he's kind of like directly in the middle.
So, and then but the price difference as a king is 125.
Yeah.
So wait, a king is 125, a Thane is 60, and he's 250 for in between the two. Oof, okay. Oof.
I think you're better off saying he's a king with -1 weapon skill.
Yeah, you have to,
right? And -1 weapon skill, -1 attack. But
so
there you go.
Grumble Armor, Grudge Law, Hatred, Orcs and Goblins, Magic Res 1, Rallying Cry, Resolute and Stubborn. Grudge Law is once he has set up his Grudge Stone, because of course he has a Grudge Stone, both he and any unit he has joined replaces Hatred, Orcs and Goblins with Hatred everything. The Grudge Stone in particular, during any
Grudge Stone. Sorry, Adam.
Correct. During any starter turn subphase, Thorgrim may set the Grudge Stone. Once set, they gain Unbreakable and automatically passes any panic test they're required to make. However, once the Grudge Stone has been set, Thorgrim and his unit cannot choose to flee as a charge reaction and cannot move other than to give ground or make follow-up moves or to reform. The armor of Skaldor is a suit of heavy armor. In addition, 4+ ward save against killing blow or any wounds suffered with multi-wounds. Not bad. And then Grudge Setter is strength 2, AP 1, armor bane 1, magical attacks. And it's inscribed with the Master Rune of Smiting and Master Rune of Parrying, as described in the booksies. He is overcosted to the tits.
Unbreakable is a really strong rule.
It is, but man, you got Stubborn 10, right? Like, it's pretty easy to get Stubborn. Shield Wall.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, Unbreakable is a very powerful rule. That's and Hatred everything is very powerful too.
It is. They're both really good. You're correct. They're both really.
But you
good.
are taking a big penalty of not moving anymore, right?
Yeah.
In a game where, like, while objectives have come into the game, they're not. I think objectives almost made it worse for Thorgrim, because before you could theoretically just make like a ridiculous unit and be like, well, I'm unbreakable and I'm not, and it doesn't matter what happens to me anymore. And maybe get the points back that way. Whereas now, like, not being able to move for the rest of the game, you lose a strategic advantage.
Yeah. Yep.
And your Master Rune of Smiting is going on a guy who's like fine.
3 attacks.
But, like, yeah. I'd rather have it on an actual king. So
I entirely agree. He loses and fails the points versus similar equipped generic character. He's bringing Unbreakable. I guess that's the uniqueness within. He's bringing Unbreakable on a non-Slayer unit. His overall durability damage stat line is kind of mid, if not bad, comparatively. Is he that cool? Is the question. Does he get some points for being cool at least? Because I'm not sure he gets that many either.
No, the only coolness is if you played like 7th and 8th edition and you liked him when he as like the older version of himself.
Like he's over ruined. Like that's why he costs too many points. Like he has like his weapon is 110 points worth of runes.
Yeah.
But his stat line isn't good enough to warrant the investment.
Right.
Yeah, because -1 to hit against a guy that basically has no other saves is kind of
Yeah, he doesn't even have a freaking ward save. It's quite frustrating. Unless you have Killing Blow. He has 3 wounds. I'm not sure that's going to matter, guys. So I have him in F tier, boys. Any arguments otherwise?
I think you're good. I think you're fine for that.
Nailed it.
All right. Ungrim. The Slayer King. He comes with movement 3, weapon skill freaking 9, bliss skill 4, strength 4, T6, 3 wounds, 5 initiative, 4 attacks, leadership 10 for 315 points. But my God, that's a stat line. How does that rank up against a Dragon Slayer? I guess a Dragon Slayer and a King had a baby.
Yeah, the Demon Slayer is the Lord level
Apologies.
Slayer. He's 130 points, but has -2 weapon skill, -1 toughness, but otherwise has the same stats.
Comes with Deathblow, Grumble, Armor, Hatred, Orcs and Goblins, Immune to Psych, King of the Slayer Hold, Magic Res 2, Rallying Cry, Resolute, Slayer, and Unbreakable. King of the Slayer Hold is just unique as hell. He may join Hammerers or a unit of Slayers, even though he does not have the Loner special rule. A unit of Hammerers joined by Ungrim gains Immune to Psych and Unbreakable as well, for as long as he remains with the unit. In addition, if Ungrim is taken as the general, can be taken as a general. Demon Slayers and Dragon Slayers may be taken as characters. 0 to 1 Slayers per 1,000 points may be taken as core. 0 to 4 Doomseekers per 1,000 may be taken as special. Whilst this model rolls to wounds roll, wound roll of 4+ is always wounds. It's got the Slayer rule. The Slayer Crown improves their armor save value by 2 and gives the wearer a 5+ invuln ward save. And then in combat is strength +2 AP3 magic attacks monster slayer. I gotta say, this guy is almost an arcane journal in and of himself. And for that, I think he is probably the dominant character in the game for the uniqueness qualifier, uniqueness within faction. He does an incredible amount of stuff that you can't do otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely checks that box as being something I think he's pointed okay. He's a lot of points.
He is. That's because they genuinely, I think they did him a disservice by giving him so many rules. Like they could have dropped the Slayer Crown could easily not be +2 save and a 5+ ward, which is just mental. Like that's like a 75 point. That's better than the Armor of Destiny in some respects because he already comes with Gromrel armor. He comes with light armor. So he has a 4+ armor save. Am I correct?
Yeah, a 4+ rerolling ones.
Yeah, 4+ rerolling ones and a 5+ ward on T6 3 wounds. So he's durable. He's durable for what he is for a 25 mil base. He slams in combat with 4 attacks at strength 6 AP3 monster slayer, and he's just doing something that you can't do otherwise with all the taking all the things in bits and pieces. I would like here to make an argument for at least B tier because he's very good in some SKU lists. So he's very good in some AJ.
Yeah, Adam, that's right where I'd put him is in B tier. I think he kind of he's just a great example of B tier. He's not A tier because he's not good all the time. He's just good in this one thing, and he's decent in that particular build.
You in agreement?
Yeah, I mean he does some things that dwarves don't have, like Monster Slayer. Although the smiting King is pretty close, but and he's just neat. He does it sucks that they made the Slayer host afterwards, and then they nerfed Doomseekers into the ground, but I still love him. He's still so good.
I still love him as well. All right, Burlock is up next, and oh boy, movement 3, weapon skill 5, bliss skill 5, strength 4, T4, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 3 attacks with leadership 10 for 85 points. How does he rock up next to an NG?
The normal engineer is, I think he's 50 points. Sorry, 50 points. So he's 35 more points than a standard one. his gun is like a pistol, I guess, which is like another 6. So 55 points.
Yep. Comes with, dwarf crafted, Grummel armor, hatred, orcs and goblins, magic res 1. Prepared position, range finding optics, resolute, stand back, chief, and stubborn. Prepared positions is what you'd expect. You get to entrench, a single non-character model whose troop time is War Machine, and a single unit of crawlers and tunnerers. And then we have range finding optics, unless fleeing or engaged in combat once per turn during a shooting phase, a friendly unit of crawlers, thunderers, or a dwarf war machine that is within command range of can either re-roll any to hit rolls of a 1 or re-roll a single artillery dice. In addition, Burlock any units of his join do not suffer the -1 to hit for long range. And then standback chief is the you can't shoot me if he's in 3 of a war machine. The furnace hammer in combat is strength asterisk, which is that you roll a artillery dice to determine its strength. If it misfires roll, he loses a single wound. His AP2 with flaming attacks. And then the river gun is range 10, strength 3, AP2, armor bane 1. If the to hit is successful, it does D3, hits the target instead of the usual 1. And now we have a lot to say about this guy, but Peter very much wanted to head this one off. So take it away, brother.
I mean, this guy's like, the only reason why, based on our criteria, he's not S tier is because like you don't run him in the Royal Host, obviously. But he's a combination of an engineer and a sapper because prepared positions is very close to the sapper ability. Like regular engineers don't get this. They only get it on war machines. The fact that you can make a unit of quarrelers or thunderers like defend a low linear obstacle is extraordinarily powerful. The range finding optics is also amazing. Just because, especially in X-Force, where your Thunderers are already like ignoring move and shoot, being able to ignore long range as well is insane value.
Silence the Discord, whoever it is. Just God damn.
And yeah, like this whole thing is just like wildly strong. First points. He's also leadership 10. So in X-Force in particular, like he's the only way to get leadership 10 in X-Force. So like if you're running X-Force, unless you're doing like a Ranger skew list, you take this guy. Because like he's just too much value otherwise. Like leadership 10 is too good. His range finding optics is too good. Even with Rangers, like you probably don't. You need the Thunderers to really want to take him, but that's like he just is so good at everything. If you have a big block of Thunderers or Quarrelers, yeah. Anyway,
Windmill slammed him straight into A tier, and he'll be at the top of A tier if we have anything to say about it. Anything to add there, Danny boy?
No, I mean, great value. His stat line is improved over the standard engineer as well. He's got an extra weapon skill and an extra leadership, just in case you wanted to make sure that you were leadership 10 without having to take a dwarf lord.
Beautiful.
He's just great.
All right. That is it for the dwarfs. We are into the beastmen. Kralmor is the Prophet of Ruin is up first. Movement 5, weapon skill 3, bliss skill 3, strength 45, 4 wounds, initiative 3, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 245 points, regular infantry 30 by 30. Or 25 by 25 for the Leering Spirit. Comes in at a level 4, knowing Dark Magic or Primal Magic with a Brace Star, Future Sight, Against the Gods, Leering Spirit, Law of Beasts, Mark Picasso Undivided, Primal Fury, and Warband. How does he rank up versus another level 4, brother?
So a great Bray Shaman. Another one is 180 points for level 4.
So we've got 65 points of value.
Yeah.
Things that Kralmor has over a basic Bray Shaman or Great Breaker Shaman, he has 4 wounds instead of 3. So that's really good already. He's got a 4+ ward save base.
Yeah, dude.
Which, like, the only way a Bray Shaman, a Great Bray Shaman can't get that, right? They don't have a way to get to a 4-up. And anybody else is paying 70 points to get it. So there's a lot of value there.
He has a 6-inch aura of -1 leadership to a minimum of 2. And then when deployed, place a Leering Spirit marker anywhere on the battlefield that is not within 8 of an enemy unit. Once placed, it does not move, but has 360 line of sight. The marker cannot be charged, targeted in any way. However, if Kralmor is removed from players or casualties, so is the Leering Spirit. The Leering Spirit may cast the Devolve spell from Law of Beasts with a power level of 3, and you draw a line of sight, like I said, through that bad boy. And it's actually pretty unique, pretty cute, pretty cool. How do we, so he's got a little bit of uniqueness. his points out are pretty much on point. Like if you were to theoretically be able to purchase like Armor of Destiny on a level 4 Great Bray, the points would be almost identical. If not, the Great Bray would be like what 15 more. So points are correct. Uniqueness within the faction, he's not bad. He's not incredible, but he's not bad. Overall durability and damage, well, he is above the going rate on durability with the extra wound. And he's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's like A tier.
Yeah, I believe he is as well. Danny, what do you reckon?
Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, all right. I don't know that he's the way that I would want to build a level 4 most of the time. Like I'd rather do like the wand. Just so I get reroll 2 wound rolls on my magic missiles. But if you're gonna try and do like the devolve or like the scream list kind of, I think that he's like he's a must take for that. The Grizzly Totem, just giving another -1 leadership is a good magic item, and his 4-up ward is good too. But a lot of times, you like the level 4 on the Chariot because he gives you 360 line of sight and a bunch of wounds and tough, and not toughness, but like a decent armor save.
Yep.
Which he can only have a 5-up armor save as opposed to like a 2-up armor save or a 3-up armor save that the other guy can take.
And the other thing I would say about Kralma, though, which is why I'm thinking he's A tier, he's a way to get 2 level 4s in your list because he's a named character. So you can run in like GW where you can only have 1 level 4. You can have a level 4 and you can have Kralma. So there's no reason why you just don't do both. Really, and like you were seeing him up to the latest FAQ. Like Kralma was seeing like a significant amount of play, I would say, in the like Viletide spam list because of that, where you'd have your level 4 on a Chariot or level 4 in a unit with like all the debuff items on them, and then Kralma as well. So you had like both of them going. Lately with the FAQ and like some WTC rulings and Compact rulings, you're seeing Kralma kind of be pushed out for like a kitted out Beast Lord and Wild Herd, but you are still seeing Kralma played in like the Grand Army from time to time. So yeah, I think he's like very much like an A tier unit. When he first came out, the game was a little bit different. I was less big on him. I was more big on double Great Bray, but once they said you can't have 2 level 4s unless they're named, he like skyrocketed in value.
Yeah, so I think he's firmly in the A tier. Next up, we have Goros Warhoof, because he sired 1,000 young, so you just know Goros, he Fs. Especially because he's equipped with Man Smasher.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, he's Warhoof. We got it.
Yeah, yeah, he's so Warhoof, yeah. Man, you can move movement 8, weapon skill 5, bliss skill 3, strength 5, T4, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 4 attacks, leadership 8 for 155 points. How does that rank up against? What do you compare him to?
A Sendagore Chieftain, which is a normal hero choice that you can take. Surprise, surprise. But they have the exact same stat line. Yep. Except Goros has +1 leadership. A standard Centaur Chieftain comes in at 75 points.
So he's clean double +5. Drunken, Father of Beasts, Gaze of the Gods, Mark of the Gods, Undivided, Move Through Cover, Primal Fury, Stomp Attacks D3, Swift Stride, Sons of Goros, and Warband. Father of Beasts is while within command range, friendly Centaur herds may reroll the D6 when rolling on the Drunken table. The Sons of Goros is 0 to 1 Centaur herd in the same muster list as Goros, may be upgraded to be his sons for +2 points per model. I wish it was free, and gain +1 weapon skill and leadership to a maximum of 10, and gain armor bane 1. It's not bad 2 points, like for +1 weapon skill, +1 leadership, and armor bane. It's not a bad 2 points, but Centaurs need some help. And then the Skull of the Unicorn Lord has a 6+ ward save against any wounds suffered that were caused by non-magical attack, and 5 up against magical attacks. In combat, he man smashes with strength +1, AP 1, armor bane 1, magical attacks, and multiple wounds D3. Strength modifier is only on the charge. And he blows. Hey, ooh, yeah. If this guy was a Minotaur and did for Minotaurs like what he does for Centaurs, we would be cooking. Of course, chuck his points up, but we would be absolutely cooking for something unique. As it is, like, I'm not sure we need to discuss him more. I think he's just F.
I wish he had armored hide, gave armored hide instead of armored bane. That would probably make him like kind of more interesting. But yeah, he's like, why would you take him ever? Unless you're just,
really just love Centaurs, and like there's just a million better options.
Yeah.
Yep. So Ho-Hoof, okay, goes in F tier.
So he's going in. He's going into F tier for me, Adam. That's what I'm.
All right, and we know why he's in F tier. All right, we're into Wood Elves, and we get to have some fun here. Orion, King of the freaking Woods. Oh boy, his movement 9, weapon skill 8, bliss skill 6, strength 5, toughness 5, 5 wounds, initiate 8, 5 attacks, leadership 10. Comes with these 2 wolfies, which are also movement 9, weapon skill 4, strength 4, T4, 1 wound, initiate 4, 1 attack for leadership 6, 455 points. I don't think there's an accurate comparison in Wood Elves for what he is, because he's essentially like a demon prince for all intents and purposes. Like if you were going to compare him to anything else, I think demon prince is the only fair one, but there isn't any. So we're just going to go into his full package. It comes on a 50 by 50 and 25 by 50 on the hounds. He has Fear, Frenzy, Immune to Psychology, Move Through Cover, Magic Res 2, Open Order, D3 plus 2 Stomps, Strikes First, Terror, and Unbreakable. And his hounds have a bunch of that stuff, in addition to the one that really matters, which is Spectral Hounds. Spectral Hounds are only be wounded by magical attacks, so pseudo-ethereal. The Cloak of Isha is a 5+ ward save on Orion. In addition, during each of your starter turn subphases, roll a d6 on a 5+, you regain a single wound. Horn of the Wild Hunt, once per game during the command subphase of its turn, Orion may sound the horn. If it does until the end of the turn, friendly units in his command range gain frenzy as well, and it can only be frenzied in this way once. You can't double frenzy, etc. He has his Hawks, which is range 30, strength a user, AP 1, multiple shots D3 plus 1, and he has BS 6, so he actually can peck away a little bit. And then Spear of Kronos, which is ranged 18, strength plus 1, AP 2, multiple wounds D3 magical attacks, and then combat is the same profile. The Spear of Kronos has 2 profiles represented to how the weapon is used in combat. Shoots like a bolt thrower with the through and through special rule as well, which is quite cute and tasty. I wish he did a little more for the army. I've always thought that about Orion, but it's in keeping that he's on the hunt and he's focusing on himself, being a bit capricious. How do we feel like he goes in the 3 categories you can rate him in? Uniqueness within the faction, first off. How does Orion rate?
I mean, he's super unique, right?
Yeah.
Ultra
There's
unique.
no other character in the game like Orion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. How do we feel about his overall durability, damage, and stat line for the points?
So with the new FAQ where they changed Spectral Hounds, because like when he came out, I thought Orion was like borderline playable competitively. I even tried him a few times. He's pretty good. Because of the hounds, where you're basically at the time you're only getting hit like 1/3 of the time from any kind of shooting. With the FAQ, the first FAQ they put out 1.5, they changed it so that he could be targeted out from the hounds, and that made him garbage. Like
Because he's different unit type.
Yeah, because because they had different types, and also they changed frenzy and made frenzy like way worse than it was, so that also hurt him a lot. Because like it makes his frenzy buff pretty garbage. But that said, the latest FAQ they errated Spectral Hounds. And it says, in addition, whilst 1 or more hounds of Orion remains, Orion cannot be targeted by enemy shooting. So effectively, Orion is immune to all non-magical shooting. So you can only, until his hounds die, so you can only target him with magic missiles and like magical guns, essentially. So, and there's not a ton. Magic missiles, yes. No. And, 1/3 of those to half of those are going to hit Orion instead of the dog. So you get to like protect those dogs further if you want to. So he's got like a lot of durability that isn't written into his profile just from that. It's easier to deliver him than it was before.
Yeah.
He's great in close combat. He's basically got an ogre blade. And he's decent at range. The only problem is like Wild Rider, Kindred, Glade Lords, and Dragon Lords are just better than him. So like you won't see competitive play, but he's cool. He's thematically awesome.
I think he hits like top marks for cool factor. Maybe the coolest in the game for coolness. But his overall durability damage stat line is mid for the points. Even if it is kind of okay, it's still pretty good. Uniqueness in the faction is 4 marks. Is he B or C is my question to you boys. He's not an F. He's better than F easily. I just can't decide if he's B or C. And that's with the current rules, of course. Like last month, he was a cannonball catcher to the fucking teeth, and you could not put him in anywhere but probably F.
I don't know. I want to put him in B because he's just the coolest.
Let's just do it, Orion.
Yeah, no, I think there's a really good argument for him in B.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
And like there's ways to make word answers so cool now too. Where before they were kind of like on the edge. I think there's like a place for word answers now where you can make them like -4 to be hit.
Yeah, dude.
From shooting, and that makes them pretty easy to deliver. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff.
He's cool with the Rangers too.
And he's cool with the Wildwood Rangers too. Yeah.
All right, next up we have I've been waiting for this one. Araloth, Lord of Taliesin.
F.
Yeah, boys.
Don't even like. Okay, can I do him? So
Yeah,
he's a lord. He's got a lord stat line. I don't think there's anything different from the lord. I think his weapon skill is 7.
He's WS 8.
He ignores negative modifiers to his leadership. So against vampires, he will do nothing. And he's got a bird that doesn't do anything half the time. And it's the coolest thing about him, and it sucks really bad because he can potentially reduce a model's weapon skill and initiative characteristics by D3 for the remainder of the game, except you have to go through 100 hoops. So just don't take him. He's F. He's garbage. Like, he's not good in anything. There's no reason to ever even think about running him.
I believe he's the worst character in the game.
Like, point for point, he's fine because he's only 15 more points than the Glade Lord, and you get a 5+ ward save. But that's it. Like, he's not good. Just don't do it.
Man. Dude, his spear is so sad. My God.
He literally just has a regular ass spear.
It's just a spear.
It just has magical attacks.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah.
He's
cool.
just garbage.
I've put him last in F because he, like, at least Prince Atropos, whatever his name is. Scarab Boy has a cool model at least.
Yeah, like Araloth could be so much cooler, and instead he's just the most vanilla garbage.
I like Araloth's model, I guess.
He's got a bird. I like birds.
Yeah, like, and Scarin has a rule that literally says that, like, on a 1 or a 2, the Hawk just has better things to do. So if your special character has a rule that says that that rule has better things to do, don't take him. Just as a general
straight up
rule.
He has a rule that reads like, idiot can't even train his bird. It reads like, I have a badly trained bird. That's the rule.
Can you imagine if, like, 66% of the time the bird that you like just doesn't come back? Even Mike Tyson's carrier pigeons have better rates than that.
If all you play against is Scream Skew vampires, and take them in like a gigantic brick of something, and that's the only time I could ever see you bothering. That's it. So just be permanent leadership 10 and not care about screams. Like, that's it. If you have a unit that you want to spend that many points on, that's the only reason I'd ever consider him.
Perfect. All right. We have 2 AJs left. We are on to the High Elves. First up is Corhill, Captain of the White Lions. Movement 5, weapon skill 7, skill 5, strength 4, toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks, leadership 9 for 175 points. Where's the unit comparison here, right?
I guess you want to use the Tracer Lord, right? The one in the journal?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it the Tracer Lord? Because he's not as, like, he's, like, way weaker by, like, a lot. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
They have 3 wounds.
Oh, they do have 3 wounds. That's right.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like, all those weird name one, like the Wood Elf ones do too, the Warden of Towson or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! I picked the wrong thing. I don't. Hold on. Give me a
70 points.
Let's talk about his rules and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, the Tracian Chieftain comes in at 105. He is 70 clean points ahead. He comes with can be mounted on a Chieftain's Chariot. Lol. Elven Reflexes, Furious Charge, Mighty Constitution, Move Through Cover, Stubborn, and Valor of Ages. Mighty Constitution is during a turn in which he made a charge move of 3 or more, gets a +1 modifier to his strength. In addition, is immune to poison attacks, which ain't what it used to be. If he is hit by an attack with this special rule, the attacker must roll to wound as normal. The pelt improves the armor save value by 1 while engaged in combat, and by 2 against non-magical shooting. In addition, it's 5 up regen. It's quite good. And then in combat is strength +2, AP 3. Killing blow, and may re-roll natural hit rolls of 1 during the combat phase. And he is weapon skill 7, so 2s to hit is he's going to be hitting a lot.
And he has
How
a
do we
plus
feel
one
about
weapon skill, plus one attack, and plus one leadership over the standard Trajan chieftain.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Oh, no, not leadership. Sorry, leadership's the same. I thought he was 10.
how do we price his special rules? Immune to poison is kind of, who cares it now? It's not a big deal. It's fine. And the
regen is like 20 points in high elves, so that's whatever.
Super axe is what he's got in combat, like an extra AP, right?
Yeah, it's really just his. It's like the extra attack, the extra other stuff that's like of good value with him. And yes, he has a super killing blow axe that even when you're not killing blowing is beating the shit out of people. And reroll ones to hit on a weapon skill 7 dude is also quite good.
Yeah,
like weapon skill 7, strength 8 on the charge.
Yeah,
so he's wounding dragons on 2s, which is nice.
Pretty,
I don't know, like, or a lot of stuff. I guess unless they're toughness 7, then it's 3s. But still not 4s or 5s.
Am I correct in saying he's probably the killiest special character on foot? Is he the deadliest? I think he is.
I mean, Ungrim is quite deadly.
Oh, never mind.
Monster Slayer.
Sorry, he was so short I couldn't
but
see him.
Ungrim's also double the points of this guy. So
315 versus 175. Yeah, wild. Where do we put him? Like, is he worth taking in anything?
I think he's worth taking.
I think he's good on a chariot.
Better stuff, but he's cool on a chariot. I've run him on a chariot, and he's super fun.
So based on our criteria, so he's not an auto take, so not S. He's not darn good in multiple army lists, so he's not A. Is he decent in a SKU or AJ build, or is he narrative only? He's not F tier. We know that.
He's not F tier for sure. He's either a B or a C. I don't know. I feel like
he's easily a B. He's probably a B tier. Like, it's right on the cusp, though. Again, like another character that's like almost good.
Fair. All right, chuck him into B. Next up, we have Vess. Ashaya Vess. Movement 5, weapon skill 7, bliss skill 7, strength 4, T3, 3 wounds, initiative 7, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 170 points.
All right, so the Sea Guard commander,
Yep.
which is probably the closest model here to her, clocks in at 90 points. She has +1 weapon skill, +1 wound, and +1 initiative. +2 initiative over the Sea Guard commander.
That's
not
good.
Bad. Not bad.
Nope.
So she comes with commanding voice, Ithamar weapons, naval discipline, rallying cry, strikes first, precision strikes, valor of ages. The command range is increased by 3. She has a command range of 12 or 15 if she's the general. She precision strikes. A Lothrian Sea Guard unit joined by Vess improves the AP characteristic of weapons by 1. Pretty significant unit buff. One of the better ones. Sorry?
It's her best rule.
It is. Yeah. And then she in combat, she's strength +1, AP 2, armor bane 1, magical attacks. During the combat phase, enemy models must re-roll a single successful to hit roll made against the wielder here. And she also has a warbow, just in addition. Look, she does a bunch of good stuff. That's one of the best unit buffs, blanket unit buffs outside. That is on any special character in the game.
Bad unit.
Exactly right. Spot on. Like, I put this next to Burlock. Burlock essentially giving his unit +1 to hit most of the times it shoots for not taking the long range penalty. So that's essentially, a conditional +1.
And defend a low linear obstacle, which is broken right now.
Correct. And I was about to say, then there's the L. She gives +1 AP, which is kind of legit, but my God, buffing Sea Guard is just not worth it.
Don't do it.
In saying that, she is good in the Sea Guard build. If you are taking the Sea Guard build, you are almost definitely taking this character, correct?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means she's a B. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, wait, hold on. Well,
here's the
hold
problem.
on. That's insane.
We found a hole in our criteria.
Adam, here's my argument here. All right, she would be a B tier if that like Army of Infamy was like at all good, or like
anything.
you could play it.
Yeah.
But you can't. And so don't.
It is literally, in my opinion, the second worst Army of Infamy. Maybe the third. No, it's probably the second worst Army of Infamy.
What's worse than that? Oh, Host of Talos. Never mind.
Host of Taliesin is worse.
Yeah, baby.
And then the Nightly Orders is almost worse than
Almost. Yeah.
It's
I put Seaguard next to Nightly Orders, to be honest. Like I'm not cruel enough to say one of those is worse.
Yeah, and the thing about Host of Taliesin is you can still run dragons in that, so that makes it better.
Yeah.
The rest of
Okay,
your
boys.
list is garbage, but you can
Wait a
run
minute.
two
I can run dragons. They can just have to be dragon mages.
Yeah. You have to run bad dragons.
I almost hoodwink is into making her B tier, but what is she? Is she C or
She's
F?
C. She's C tier. She's
Yeah.
not F.
Nah. That's insane.
She's always
All
strike
right.
first with like strength 5 AP2 attacks. Like that's not bad. She's
No.
got some other cool
AP3.
rules. Oh yes, AP3.
Because it affects close
All right.
combat too.
Yeah.
We have one AJ and one special character left, and then we are done. This is Meow Meow Ying, the Storm Dragon. Lot to explain here. She is.
Let's
a
not go
lot
through
of
it all. We
points.
don't need to. She's a dragon that's also a person. She's
Yeah.
level 4. Sometimes she's level 2. She can teleport at the beginning of a return, which is wildly powerful. Because it happens before you get to cast your spells, so you can do all sorts of crazy shit with it.
Mhm.
And she gives a buff Celestial Dragon Host, 1 unit of Jade Lancers and 1 unit of Jade Warriors for 1 point per model. Get +1 leadership and +1 weapon skill, which is insane for 1 point, especially when you consider what Warhoof gives to his stupid drunken centaurs for 2. She's always strike first with like 5 attacks in human form and 6 attacks or 7 attacks in dragon form.
Did you mention she heals?
She heals every time she transforms. She's extraordinarily mobile. She has her own special signature spell you can take, which is just a wind blast, but infinitely better because it's better AP. And you can also still take wind blast because she can take elementals, so you can have both. She can swap out 2 spells for signatures instead of just 1.
He's still going, people.
She's just like, she's got a lot of rules. She's also like almost 500 points. I would say she's A tier. She's not S tier because like she's not an auto include in Cathay. There are lists that will take like a bunch of shugs instead, and that's kind of like where they're going right now.
I want to put her as probably the second best A tier character behind Burlock.
Yeah, she's quite good.
Yeah. And that is it. I think, unless we have missed any, please tell us at home if we missed any. And we thought we'd done this very extensively. That is it. And I'm about to give you the lowdown on our rankings for every special character in the game. S tier consists of just the Green Knight. A tier is these. I tried to put them in a little bit in order as we went, but there's not in particular order. A tier is Burlock, Miao Ying, Krollmore, and Lowenhackle. B tier is Ungram, Lady Elise, Nakaf, Orion, and Corhill. C is Galrook, Friedel, Swamp Digger, Kicknick, Vess, Cetra, and Circa Stone. And then F tier is Harold, Prince Apropopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopopop fluff.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
I think we did good. I think this is the first time we've done one of these lists and we were right.
100%. Yeah, we've never been correct before, and
we are. I don't know why anyone listens to us because we are wrong all the time. Only when Danny is on are we ever correct.
Danny has this weird balancing act between the atoms.
What have you guys been doing when I'm gone?
Have you listened to our show? It is garbage
dude.
when you're not here. We just ramble. Adam gets mad about things that don't even exist anymore. We talk about flat Earth a lot.
Yeah, we do. That's true. We go down some tangents. Like
we don't talk about flat Earth as much as we should.
We really should
talk about that a lot more. Actually,
I prefer next time we had an opportunity to talk about Hollow Earth. Yeah,
I want to talk about Nicole Kidman, but I've held off because it's not been in the news very much.
So. Yeah, freaking crab people, guys. Anyway, that is going to wrap us up for this. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you'd like us to do more stuff like this, please let us know. Of course, we did this one as a request and an idea from one of our patrons. And of course, you can jump in there and request things yourselves. So come over onto Patreon for that old world charm goodness and get the second part of this podcast, which we're going to go record now. So thank you all. Love you all. Look after each other and talk to you soon. Say good nights, boys.
Bye-bye. Caca.
You've been listening to That Old World Charm with those charming chaps Adam, Danny, and Peter the Falcon. Thanks ever so much. Cheerio.